Seatbelts are fastened, packs brief. No packs on board tonight. All avionics are off. Circuit breakers are all in. Landing gears down, flaps are up, cow flaps are open. Lights as required. We'll get some beacon and nav going. And fuel selector is going to be on the fullest tank. Alternator and battery switches are coming on. Mix prop in throttle. All in. Aux pump turn on. Let's get it cranked up. Some lights on in here. Let's get these lights off. Some air going on. Ground, Bonanza 424, Romeo Papa is ready to taxi.
Bonanza 424 Romeo, Papa Ellis ground, taxi to runway 5 via Bravo 3 Alpha Alpha 1. Contact tower on 132.65 when ready for departure.
Taxi to runway 5 via Bravo 3 Alpha Alpha 1. And switch to tower on 132.65 when ready to departure. Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. Alright, taxi lights is coming on. Brakes are released. Brake check. Brakes are good. Bravo 3 Alpha Alpha 1.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, contact tower on 132.65. Have a good evening.
Switching to tower, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. Good. Ellis Tower, Bonanza 424, Romeo Papa is holding short. Runway 5 at Alpha, ready for departure.
Bonanza 424 Romeo, Papa Ellis Tower, runway 5, wind 0905 at 6. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 5, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. Alright, strobes and landing lights are coming on. Clear down the runway, and we are clear final. There's a bunch of flaps coming in. You know what?
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, contact departure on 135.75.
Switching over to departure on 135.75, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, good day. Departure, Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa. He's climbing through 1,500 for 8,000.
Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa, Wilmington departure, radar contact, turn right heading 195, vectors to Wilmington, then own navigation.
Turn right heading 195, vectors to Wilmington, then on navigation, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. How's it going, everybody? Welcome aboard CardboardSim. Oh man, how y'all doing? I can't complain over here, man. Working hard, simming harder, you know. I know most of you probably think that I've been offline for a while, but I've really switched more to streaming at night times. I normally stream around 10:30 at night, but with work picking up, haven't been able to do it as much as I would have liked to. So tonight I was gonna stream, but things didn't really work out according to plan. But we still under a lot of bad weather, so I knew I was going to be up, so I decided to record this video this time around versus streaming. So I took off from my home terminal at Ellis Airport, that's Kilo Oscar Alpha Juliet in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I'm headed out to Charlotte. So we're hanging out at 14,000 feet right now. Ground speed is 147. We got a pretty nasty crosswind. Well, headwind crosswind. More of a crosswind, about 23 knots. So, not going as fast as the V normally does. But it's cool. We just chilling. I decided to climb up, get above the clouds, and just enjoy the view. For those who haven't watched any of my streams, but whether you're new or a returner on the channel, it's been a while since I've actually recorded a video.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, expect the Ryzen 3 arrival. I'll have you descending in about 20 minutes.
Expect the Ryzen arrival, and we'll be waiting for descent. Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. There's been a lot of upgrades since that last video, as far as the recording side goes. So we have now upgraded our Autopilot panel from the Prop Wash Sim Autopilot panel. Great panel, horrible build on the backside. The connector where the plug goes in it, they never soldered it in, and after about 4 or 5 times of pulling that wire out, it just gave out completely, and there was no bringing it back to life. So I 3D printed the GFC 500. I did it a little different than most. I ended up using transparent PLA for the buttons and the
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, contact Florence approach on 118.6.
Going to 1186, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. Florence approach, Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa is level at 14,000.
Bonanza 424 Romeo. Papa, Florence approach. Good evening, Mullins. Altimeter 29.904.
2994, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. So, like I said, I did the buttons in transparent PLA along with the wheel. Put some backlighting in there, and that backlighting is connected to the gauges that I 3D printed out. Some of them work, some of them don't. Well, most of them do work. Having some issues with some, so I got to do some more tweaking with them. I did create an attitude indicator or gauge. Having a lot of issues with it, so I didn't feel like playing around with it no more. So I dumped that and I purchased a 3-inch round screen, HDMI, and I'm using the G5 to run it, and it's working out pretty good. I also created a yaw damper button here, which is a redundant system because I have a yaw damper here on the GFC 500 as well, but I created a button as well. This was prior to the GFC 500 print, and I put some light in there, so as you can see, when you press it, yaw damper comes on and works as it should. I also 3D printed the annunciator panel as well, and I put lighting in all of the annunciators, well, the ones that I use the most, so autopilot, glide slope, altitude, nav, heading, and approach. So those are lighting up as they should. I've also, I can't remember if I was dimming lights during that recording, but I have 2 dimmers now. So I have the panel that I can brighten and dim, and I also have my gauges and my autopilot panel, as you can see, can brighten and dim as well. They also can go off, so that's pretty cool. I have swapped from the Air Manager app version, which is what I was using before, and I've now transcribed over to the Air Manager desktop version. That's how I'm able to run the G5 as well as the JPI. The JPI was on the app, but I also got it running off of the desktop version. And one thing I like about this one is it actually goes black when power is off, so I like that. I'm trying to figure out how to do that with the G5 as well. Still rocking the TDS 750 650 combo via the SpaceDesk on a HD Fire tablet. I did pick up a HDMI touchscreen that I want to replace with that, just to kind of get off of SpaceDesk a little bit. I've had a lot of problems with it. Tonight is running fine. Most of the time I'm having issues. So I just gotta reprint a new bezel for that one because it's a different size. I've also added butt kickers. I'm not using the real butt kickers. I'm actually using the Daytona BTS1 transducers. I got one under each seat, and it's ran by a little sound card that I have down here on the center console for volume, and I'm using Sim Haptic to push the different volumes and vibrations and things of that nature, and that's working pretty well. It gives a little bit more realism. I've also partnered up with SayIntentions So I am now a partner with them, and I'm enjoying it. As you can hear me, I've been going back and forth with ATC, and it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been a good journey, a great journey, and hope to continue to build with them and watch this program become number one, which in my opinion is already number one. And man, just take it to another level than any other software ATC that is out on the market. So that's pretty much it as far as the updates goes. Nothing else much have changed. I do have my other headsets hooked up, so both headsets are synced. They work together. We can hear each other, we can talk to each other, all that good stuff. So that is here as well. But we are coming into Charlotte, so I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this briefed up, because they'll be descending me here shortly. So we're gonna be looking at the Ryzen approach, and if I remember correctly, they were gonna be giving me 3.6. Can't remember exactly which airport or runway they're gonna be giving me. I guess they'll give it to me here shortly during the descent. So let's go ahead and get the approach, the arrival set up here. It's gonna be the Ryzen 3. We'll go ahead and load the arrival. Runway, and then we'll brief the approach. So overall, the sim has been running, like I said, very, very well. You know, it has its quirks here and there, but what sim runs perfect, you know? Well, desktops probably run a lot better than full builds. And that's not to knock the desktops. It's just a lot more goes into a full enclosed build, especially when you're doing a DIY like myself. There's always something to fix and tinker on, add and subtract. But overall, I'm loving how far the sim has come over the last 2 or 3 years, and we're not done yet. Now that I have all of this up and running the way I want to, and you know, this flight was more so really checking out, you know, the G5 and the GFC 500 and see how well they work together. Because since I've created it, which is not too long ago, maybe about a week ago, the flights that I've done have been, you know, basic flights, you know, point A to point B, you know. So I decided, you know, we got some pretty bad weather out here on my side of town, you know, let's do an IFR and see how it goes. And it's holding up pretty well. I do have a motorized trim wheel. I think you guys should already know that. If not, go check that video out. She's working okay. I think one of my wires came loose though, because I'm not getting any movement on it, but the motor is on, so I'm gonna have to get back there and see what broke loose get that one stabilized again. What's new coming up? So the next part of the upgrades will be there's two ways I'm thinking about going about it. I don't know which way I want to go yet. One side of me says motorize the alpha yoke that I have, so that when it's in autopilot mode, you know, it will follow the autopilot, you know, pitch, roll, and all that, you know, just to get some movement going on. And then the other side of me is I want to build my prototype, my second prototype of the single throw over yoke, force feedback yoke. So I kind of have a blueprint in my head on how I want to go about putting it together. It's just getting the parts and start working at it. I know it's probably going to take me longer than in my mind it's going to take to do it. So what I might end up doing is just motorizing the alpha yoke for the time being. Like I said, just to give some motion in here. It brings a little bit more realism to the setup and to the sim, and a little bit of eye candy for you as well, to kind of watch the yoke move around while we are up here in the sim skies. So that's going to be the next approach to upgrades in the sim. And from there, I want to create a door. I know what I need to do is just finding the time to do it. Yeah, but that's coming. So those are the two next big moves or upgrades I want to do to the sim. I think once those two are done, because once I get the door working right, then this back wall, which is nothing but a piece of sheeting or material that I've cut out to make it kind of look like a wall, I'm probably going to either I might just leave it that way, just as another exit point if the door end up acting crazy. So we're not locked in here. I don't know yet. We'll see. But outside of those two things, I think the sim will be almost to the point of completion. I would say it'll be 95% complete, because the last thing I would like to do is reinforce the whole frame, reinforce the floor, and actually complete the floor. Because right now it's just sitting on 2x4s and a piece of plywood with some wooden vinyl over the top of it, just to give it, you know, some aesthetics. But I'll actually have to get it off the ground somehow and actually close the floor up completely, because I want to turn it into a motion sim. I already know the kit that I want to get. It probably won't happen this year though, because it's got a price tag on it. But we'll see. Maybe next year I can put it up on its pegs and have this thing moving, and that will be complete, man. That'll be it. If there be any other upgrades after that, it'll be upgrading the graphics card to either a 4090 or a 5090. I don't know which one I would need. I really just can't justify spending the money on a 5090. That's just crazy for what they want for that thing. But I think a 4090 would get me where I really want to be. I mean, the 4080 Super does me just fine, as you can see. It runs good, but I feel like the 4090 would just give me that extra bit of strength, you know, that I need behind to really run this thing the way I want. I mean, I'm running maxed out, you know, everything is pegged, minus the shadows, because shadows really eat you up. I don't really care too much about shadows, in my opinion. That's me though. but you know, sliders is full tilt, everything is ultra, and she's running good. 355-inch 4K TVs, all running 4K. Matter of fact, I'm running 4160. Yeah. So she do real good. So that's what's going on with the sim. I just figured I'd hop on here real quick and talk to y'all. I mean, beginning of the flight, I was just kind of hanging out in my own thoughts, y'all. That's why I was quiet, you know. But I figured I'd say a couple words to y'all, let y'all know what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off my yapper, and we'll go ahead and bring this flight on into Charlotte. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I'm not gonna beg, but if you like what you see, give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It would help my channel out a lot. Like to reach out, you know, get out to other simmers that don't know me. And I have a lot of information when it comes to DIY builds. Like I said, I've been working on this thing for 3 years now. So I've learned a thing or two. So I just want to try to get this information out to everybody else who is in this sim community and thinking about trying to build one and just don't know where to get started and how to and all this other stuff. So do me a favor and do that. It's free. It takes you 2 seconds. Alright, that's all I got. We can go ahead and ride this thing on down into Charlotte, North Carolina. This is your captain, V. Hope you enjoyed flying aboard CardboardSim. We'll get you down safe and sound, and we hope you enjoyed this flight.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, turn left heading 170.
Left 170, Bonanza 4 Papa.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, proceed direct silo. Descend and maintain 2400 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 18 center approach.
Proceed direct silo, descend and maintain 2,400 until established on the localizer. Clear for the ILS 18 center approach, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. checks gears coming down.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. Contact Charlotte Tower on 118.1.
Switching the tower on 1181, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, good day. Charlotte Tower, Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa is established for runway 18 center.
Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa, Charlotte Tower, winds 160 at 7. Runway 18 center, cleared to land. Caution bird activity.
Cleared to land 18 center, and we'll be looking for the birds. Thank you. First notch flaps coming in. Flaps are required. Prop measures full rich. Lights are all. We are on the fullest tank. Flaps coming in. Hold that.
500.
There's birds. We got birds. Not the greatest landing.
Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, welcome to Charlotte. Contact ground on 121.8.
Switching to ground on 1218, Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa. Thank you. Good day. Ground, Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa is clear, runway 18 center, holding short on Echo 7, looking for general aviation parking.
Bonanza 424 Romeo Papa, Charlotte ground, taxi to general aviation parking via Echo 7. Echo Mike Romeo, cross runway 18 left, then Delta. Have a good day. Attention all aircraft information, Kilo is now current, altimeter 29905.
Taxi to GA parking via Echo 7, Echo Mike Romeo, cross runway 18 left, then Delta. Bonanza 4 Romeo Papa, thanks. Checks. Cow flaps are open. Flaps are up. Transponder is to stand by. Avionics is off. Electrical all off. Mixture out. Magnetos is off. Battery switch. Alternator is off. And there we go. There we have it, y'all. Welcome to Charlotte. Hope you guys enjoyed this flight. And hope to see you again in the sim skies with CardboardSim.